In the quiet town of Woodland Park, Colorado, a chilling love triangle spiraled into one of the most shocking family massacres in recent history. At the center was Patrick Frazee, a 32-year-old farrier known for his charm, but also his controlling nature. His fiancée, 29-year-old Kelsey Barrett, had recently given birth to their baby girl, and while she thought she was building a family, Frazee's heart and mind were elsewhere. He had been secretly involved with another woman, Idaho nurse Crystal Lee, and their toxic connection would set the stage for a horrifying crime that no one could have anticipated. Kelsey Barrett was a bright, dedicated young woman with dreams of raising her daughter in a safe, loving home. Friends and family described her as responsible, kind, and deeply devoted to motherhood. On Thanksgiving Day in 2018, she was seen shopping with her baby before returning home. No one knew it would be the last time she was seen alive. Her disappearance baffled police and haunted her loved ones, who couldn't believe she would abandon her child. Behind the scenes, however, Patrick Frazee had already put a sinister plan into motion, one that involved manipulation, deceit, and a willing accomplice. Frazee's relationship with Crystal Lee was toxic from the start. He convinced her that Kelsey was unfit to be a mother, and that their daughter's future was at stake. Obsessed with Frazee, and unable to let go, Crystal allowed herself to be drawn into his dark web. Court records later revealed that Frazee pressured her multiple times to kill Kelsey, even suggesting she poison her coffee. Each time, Crystal backed out, but her failure to alert authorities made her complicit. Her loyalty to Frazee, fueled by a twisted sense of love, became one of the most disturbing elements of this entire case. On November 22, 2018, the day of the murder, Frazee invited Kelsey to his home under the guise of spending Thanksgiving together as a family. Instead, what followed was unthinkable. Armed with a baseball bat, Frazee ambushed Kelsey in her own townhouse, while their baby was in the next room. The brutality of the attack was staggering, multiple blows to the head until her life was extinguished. He then forced Crystal Lee to help clean up the gruesome crime scene, a task that took hours and revealed the extent of Frazee's cold-blooded nature. This was not a crime of passion. It was calculated and monstrous. The cover-up was just as horrifying as the murder itself. Frazee placed Kelsey's body in a black tote and transported it to his family's ranch, where he later burned her remains in a trough. The fire burned for hours, reducing her body to ash and bone fragments. Neighbors later testified to seeing thick smoke rising that night, but no one suspected the truth. This act of destruction wasn't just about hiding evidence. It was about erasing Kelsey from existence, as if she had never been part of Frazee's life. It revealed the chilling depths of his sociopathic mind. Meanwhile, Kelsey's disappearance quickly became a national story. Her mother, Cheryl, raised the alarm when Kelsey stopped answering calls and texts. Police found her car outside her home, with her purse still inside, a sign she hadn't planned to leave. As search teams scoured the area, suspicion soon turned toward Frazee, who showed little concern for his missing fiancée. His cold demeanor and shifting stories raised red flags for investigators, who were convinced they were dealing with foul play rather than a voluntary disappearance. Frazee underestimated investigators, believing his careful staging would protect him. But digital footprints began to tell another story. Phone records showed suspicious activity after Kelsey's death, including texts sent from her phone that appeared to be attempts at misdirection. Even more damning, Crystal Lee eventually cracked under pressure. She confessed her role in the cleanup, detailing the horrifying scenes she encountered in Kelsey's home. Blood spattered on the walls, floors, and furniture. Her testimony became the linchpin of the case against Frazee. When Crystal took the stand, the courtroom heard how she had driven from Idaho to Colorado multiple times, under Frazee's orders, to carry out his murderous requests. Though she claimed she was manipulated and terrified, her willingness to comply drew outrage from the public. She admitted to cleaning up blood with bleach, disposing of evidence, and helping cover up Kelsey's murder. While many saw her as a victim of Frazee's control, others condemned her as an accomplice who chose loyalty to a killer over saving an innocent woman's life. The trial revealed a disturbing portrait of Patrick Frazee, a man who saw people as disposable, who manipulated women to serve his needs, and who viewed his own child as a bargaining chip in a power struggle. Prosecutors painted him as a cold, calculating killer who planned Kelsey's death for weeks. The jury agreed, and in November 2019, Frazee was found guilty of first-degree murder, solicitation to commit murder, and tampering with a deceased body. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 156 additional years. As for Crystal Lee, her cooperation with prosecutors earned her a plea deal. She pled guilty to evidence tampering and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. For Kelsey's family, however, justice felt incomplete. They had lost a beloved daughter and sister in the most brutal way imaginable. And though her killer was behind bars, nothing could erase the horror of what had happened. The case remains a haunting reminder of how obsession, manipulation, and blind devotion can culminate in tragedy, and how the warning signs of danger are sometimes ignored until it's too late. Kelsey Barrett dreamed of a quiet life filled with love, family, and a future. But the darkness was already beside her, in the hands of the man who claimed to love her. Her story is a haunting reminder of how thin the line can be between trust and betrayal, between normal life and unimaginable horror. What do you think drove Patrick to commit such a cruel act? Was it a cold, calculated plan, or an uncontrollable spiral? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to hear more cases like this, true crime, unsolved mysteries, and the psychology behind the darkest crimes, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And always remember, behind every crime, there are real lives, real victims, and stories that must never be forgotten.